Trust, on Friday when I was in placement, it was so sunny. Like the sun was shining, the hospital was actually heating up from the sun shining so much. But now it's the weekend, I actually have some free time and it's raining. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Antonia. I'm a third year medical student who makes videos about medicine and university and pretty much anything else that pops into my head. So if that sounds good to you guys, feel free to subscribe down below and keep watching this video. So on my channel, I've made a medicine placement chat sort of video and I quite liked it, so I thought I'd try and do that for all of my rotations this year. So just before Christmas, the 4 weeks before Christmas, I had my obstetrics and gynecology placement. So obstetrics is all about pregnancy and childbirth, and then gynecology is about women's health. So to do with your uterus, your ovaries, your fallopian tubes, all that sort of stuff. So as I've mentioned, we had 4 weeks on it. My hospital, I think I mentioned it in my medicine placement chat, that my hospital for medicine was about half an hour to 35 minutes away from my house by drive, and now this hospital is about 40 minutes. I say 40 minutes because it's not actually that many miles. I think it's about 15 miles away from where I live, but there's always traffic trying to get into placement, so that's a little bit of an annoying thing, but it's fine. For Obs And Gynae, one of my friends was actually on medicine as well, so she was able to give me a lift to and from, which I was so grateful for. Obs And Gynae is a bit different to some of the other specialties because Obs And Gynae is a split specialty. It's both medical and surgical as opposed to just falling under one of the two terms. And I really like that. I like the fact that you get a mix of medicine and surgery in Obs And Gynae. I didn't really have any expectations coming into Obs And Gynae, so the fact that I've had the 4 weeks and I've actually really enjoyed it has made me really happy and fulfilled. So I got to see a range of surgeries. Unfortunately, I didn't get to actually see a natural labour, but to be honest, I felt kind of awkward even thinking of asking a lady who's about to go into labour, hey, can I basically watch? Because medical students don't really do very much when it comes to like helping women in labour naturally. That's more of the student midwives and the midwives' role to do. You want to step on their toes. I did get to assist in a C-section and see a lot of C-sections this placement, which has been amazing. I don't know what I expected a C-section to be, and obviously I knew what the procedure was, but actually seeing one is just so amazing. And seeing how quickly it's done, the majority of the time spent on a C-section will just be on the prep of the patient, putting them under anaesthetic, making sure that they're comfortable, all that sort of thing. And then the doctors literally cut through the skin and the fascia, and then they'll tear the rectal sheath, they'll tear the uterus because it's supposed to be better for healing. So when you rip those tissues, instead of cutting through those blood vessels that normally supply it, the blood vessels move out of the way so they heal a lot better. And when you're sewing the lady's stomach back up, they sew the uterus and skin and the fascia, and that's it. Again, really interesting because the other tissues can just heal on their own, which I didn't realise. It definitely brings your anatomy to life as well. So the C-section I got to assist on, the consultant he was really nice. He actually said that he could have tested me on anatomy knowledge and things and what nerves supply this, but he didn't. And he instead showed me all the anatomy. So he showed me the broad ligament, the round ligament. These are ligaments to do with the ovaries and to do with the fallopian tubes. And then he showed me ovaries, fallopian tube, uterus, that sort of thing. And he actually let me massage the uterus because after they deliver the baby, they massage it so that any blood clots that are in the uterus can just fall out naturally, basically. When you massage the uterus, it makes it contract. But yeah, that was amazing. I also got to see some gynae surgery. I got to watch some hysteroscopies performed under general anaesthetic. So hysteroscopy is basically when you image a lady's cervix, vagina and uterus. So you can either do this in an outpatient's clinic using a really small camera that looks like a rod, but there's a camera on the end of it, and you do it through outpatients. You put your legs up in the stirrups and they just go in, do it, take pictures, take biopsies and go out. Or if you can't tolerate it, or they know that they're going to be removing something like a fibroid, a benign tumour sort of thing, or a polyp, just a kind of outpouching of cells and skin, they'll do it under general anaesthetic, and I got to see both, but the one that counts as more of a surgical procedure is the one under general anaesthetic. So I got to see hysteroscopies, I got to see fibroids and polyps and all this sort of thing get taken out, and I also got to see a laparoscopic sterilization as well, which was just really cool. It's my first touch on surgery this year. I got my surgical rotations at the end of the year, so it was really interesting to see how that varied from medicine. I think I got really lucky. I got a fantastic educational supervisor, so she was really happy for me to get involved and to come with her to her clinics and to her surgeries, and just to ask her questions when I felt like I needed to ask questions, which I think if you find a consultant on any rotation who is willing to do that, who's willing to teach you, then honestly your placement or your time in that department will be really good. I think the only bad thing I have to say about Obs and Gynae is the fact that I didn't realise that some midwives were funny towards female doctors and female medical students. I found that some of them were a little bit abrasive when we'd ask for things to do, or I don't know, just to be included. They didn't really like us being around very much, and we all felt it. I have friends in other hospitals, I have friends in other medical schools who have done Obs and Gynae rotations who have also felt it, and it's really sad because the specialty is really lovely and it's so amazing to see new life being brought into the world, but that does put a dampener on it, and it does make you feel a bit reluctant to ask again or to try and find new opportunities. But it's only a small bit. I had really lovely consultants, and not all the midwives were like this. It was only a handful, but those handful can have such a really big impact on how you see things. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Obs and Gynae. It was overall a really good rotation. It's definitely made me a bit more switched on to Obs and Gynae. I would consider it as a future specialty to go into, but that's miles off. I don't have to decide about any of that sort of stuff right now. But yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this rotation or about my other rotations, or just a general video that you'd like to see from me, leave it down in the comments below. Subscribe, share this with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.